this is Vicky and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I'll be talking about cut crease. Yeah, you heard me right. Cut crease. This will be the first ever makeup tutorial, like the in-depth makeup tutorial on my channel. And to be honest, I'm kind of nervous because, maybe what I know may not apply to you. Oh well, I'm just gonna share what I know and of course learn from you guys if ever I did make some mistake, which I hope I won't. But of course, makeup is all about learning and playing around, so just don't take it too seriously because makeup is supposed to be fun. So for today's video, please keep in mind that different eye shapes have different ways on applying eyeshadows, cut crease, and stuff like that. So today I'll just base on my eyes, of course. Please don't be too harsh on me because it's also my first ever in-depth tutorial. So I'll really try my best to give you guys the right information and to be helpful, useful information. If you guys do like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you subscribe to my channel already, please turn on the notification bell and make sure that there's 2 lines on the bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a new video. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump to the video. So before going in with the cut crease, it is better for you to think of what kind of cut crease you want because there's a lot of shapes when it comes to cut crease. There's this shapes right here, this shape right here, this shape right here. There's a lot of different shape depending on what shape fits your preference and what you're achieving. But today I'm just gonna focus on one cut crease, very common cut crease, which is like this half cut crease. So let me pull you guys closer and let's do the eyes. Okay, so now you guys are close enough to see my eyeballs. We can start the cut crease. As I said, I'll be doing the half cut crease, and at the end I will put on some eyeliner, eyelashes, and that's how everything will come together. If you think that what I'm doing is a little bit overwhelming, don't worry because everything will just go into place after you apply the lashes. The lashes is the savior. Okay, so first you can choose to prime your lid or not. My lid is already a little bit tacky, which I think is okay, that will do. It always depends on your preference. So today I will be using 2 palettes, the Morphe James Charles palette and the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette. I'll be using this palette mainly on the glitter and this one on the mattes. Okay, so today I'm going in with a purpley and gold kind of color, like pink, purple, gold. That's my color scheme for today. Actually, let me do the other eyes off cameras. I'll know what to tell you guys, to arrange my thought and also to know exactly what I will be doing so you guys will understand it better. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'm done with the other eyes, so now let's move on to these eyes and I'll go as in-depth as possible for you guys. So first I'll be going in with the James Charles palette and get a fluffy brush for your transition shade. Our transition shade today will be the Pinkity Drinkity. It is like a very light pink shade. You can use any shade you want as your transition shade, but for today's my look for today, I'll be using this. So always have a mirror on your hand for when you blend, because when it comes to cut creases, you want it to look as seamless as possible, because if not, then the concealer is gonna show and it's just gonna look very, very obvious, you know. So yeah, put on the transition shade. I bring it toward very front of my eye, and then at the back I kind of wanted to have a winged eyeshadow kind of form, because I want my eyes to be lifted, because now you can see that my eyes are a little bit droopy. So that's my way of correcting my eye shape through the how I place my eyeshadows, which will be another tutorial if you guys are interested. So yeah, and now that you lay down your transition shade, it doesn't have to be very pigmented because it's just a transition shade. So yeah, next I'll be getting another brush, another kind of like a fluffier brush but smaller than the one we use for transition shade, and go in with the second color. So my second color, since today I'll be going in with a purpley and pinkish color, so I'll be going in with the pinkish purple, like a plum color, and just lay it down. So first I pat on the color to the shape I want, and you want it to bring it forward as well. So cut crease, you don't do cut crease like half of your eyes. You usually do it like normally, but then you just cut crease it with concealer later on. Okay, so now I'm just laying down the shade and forming the shape I want. So you guys can see right now I'm kind of pulling upward to form that wing liner shape. Just bring it forward like so. Okay, but remember, since we're cutting crease in the front part, don't put too much effort in the front because it's gonna be covered anyways. So what I'm doing right now is to dip in the color again and to build up the pigment, and just focus on the end of the eye. Okay, so you can bring it up as far as you want, but I would suggest that don't bring it too far up, because we will now go in with a blending brush to blend it upward. Now to give more room to blend, don't bring the pigment too up, just use a blending brush to blend the pigment instead of adding more pigment. So now I can go in with the transition shade we used earlier, and to build and to just help blending easier. So there, as you guys can see, it's blending really, really nicely. Okay, so now I'll go in again to build up the pigment at the back. So this is kind of like a back and forth process until you're satisfied with the pigment and the blend. So now I'm not satisfied with the pigment, which is why I'm going back to the eyeshadow. But you want to add as little as possible at the time, because you can build up the pigment but you cannot unbuild the pigment, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so now blend it again with the blending brush. You can use a clean blending brush. I'm satisfied with the pigment now. We'll go into the third shade. For this third shade, of course, you get another brush, fluffy brush, but this time I'm using a little bit of a flatter one instead of the round one that I used a while ago. And now I'm going in with the violet color. So I'm using the color Single from the James Charles palette. I'm just gonna put it below the color that I just put it on. So just a little bit below. So you want to have a gradient that like the lightest to the darkest. So lightest is transition shade I used a while ago. The second lightest is the second shade I used, and now I'm going in with deeper shade, which will go to like it will go lower and lower as you keep adding colors. But of course, it can be the other way around depending on what you're achieving. But I just find this way more appealing. Okay, so following the shape of the eyeshadows I want, just adding the third color and building up the pigment. So now I'm going in with a blending brush again, dip into the transition shade and blend. Like so. Okay, so now I'm satisfied. We can always go back in like at the end. So now I'm just gonna leave it like that and go into the darkest shade, which will be the dark purple. So for the dark purple, I'm gonna use a smaller brush, the smallest brush I will be using. So again, a flatter one. You can use a fluffy one if you have a fluffy blender brush that is so small. Usually if it comes to dark shade, I like to use smaller brush so that I won't put too much pigment and won't be able to unpigment, unbuild the pigment. So yeah, I'm just gonna put it at the very end of the eye, like so. Following the shape of the eyeshadow, like so. And a while ago I go in with a deeper brown because I find this color a little bit black. So I'm going in a little bit brown and mix the brown with the dark purple and just pat it on. So see, you can see a little bit more in depth when you build 3 different colors according to their darkness. So now I'm going back to the second shade, the third shade, the violet, and to use that color to blend the dark purple. So yeah, and now I'm going in with the second shade, just a little, just very little, and now go in with the transition shade to blend. The thing about cut crease is that they're really pretty, but it's you put much more effort to it. Okay. So now that I'm satisfied with the color, oh wait, let me blend a little bit more. Okay, so now that I'm done with the shape, now it's for the concealer. Okay, so for the concealer, just use a normal concealer. Any shade will do, but usually I go in with what I'm using on my face, or you can go a little bit lighter depending on your preference. So the lighter the better. You would rather go in lighter than going in with deeper shade because it's easier for color to pop. And when you put on concealer, make sure you have enough product on your brush, and of course you'll have to use a concealer brush. Okay, so now instead of going straight to the middle, I start from the inner corner like so, and I just do this, like stare straight forward, and then when you open it again, you can kind of see where the concealer transfers like so. So you if you're double eyelid like me, like a deep fold, you would want to raise it up a little bit more so that you can see it a little. You can see it here, you know, like here. You can see the glitter a little bit above your eyelid. So just go above it like so. So you can see the concealer coming through. You just want to follow your eye shape. Usually just follow that. So you just keep adding concealer. So what I like, okay, so now you don't want to bring it too far back because you know your efforts gonna be go to waste. So I like to stop in the middle and just adjust my shape from there. Okay, so from here in the inner corner, I will also bring it out. Okay, so now I'm adjusting. I'm just slowly placing the shape I want. Like so. So you guys can kind of see the concealer from the upper lid. This is the best for people with deep fold, deep Asian fold, like so. And now, you guys just make sure that everything is well put on. You don't want to have too much concealer, but you don't want to have too little concealer. Okay. So what I did a while ago is I used my finger to apply the loose glitters, which I don't recommend for beginners because it can get really messy, like kind of get to be underlined a little bit a while ago. So for the glitters today, I'm using the Sweet Talk palette from Colourpop in the color Prima Drama. This one. So it's like a really pretty and reflective glitters, but it's just because it's like pressed loose glitters, it's like really hard to work with, like neatly. It gets everywhere. So a while ago I used my index finger. Now I'm gonna try and use my pinky. Maybe it can help. So you don't wanna put too much pressure on it because it's loose glitters. So it doesn't need a lot of pressure. But I do recommend a glitter eyeshadow for beginners. So yeah, I'm just gonna be really careful. Pat the glitter on the lid where I put my concealer. You don't have to worry, well, because like the tackiness of the concealer kind of serves as a glue for glitter, so it kind of just clings on really easily. Pinky is the way to go. Okay, so now I will use a more dense brush to sweep away, just kind of sweep away gently the excess glitter. See, like there's some glitters left on the brush. Okay, so now as you guys can see harsh line right here, which is not what we want. So now we have to go back to the eyeshadows we used a while ago. So first we will do the transition shade last. So now a while ago we do it from the lightest to darkest, but now that we're blending, we kind of want it to be the darkest to lightest. So first, of course, using the same brush that you use for your color, I'm gonna use the dark purple here on the lowest part. Now to the violet. Okay, oops, I made a mistake. I didn't use dark purple here. I want to use the violet. Okay, it's okay. We'll just build up the violet. That's the thing about cut crease. See, you can see that's the thing about cut crease. Like, you kind of forget what color you use. Dang it. Okay, so let me try to cover it up with the pinkish purple, the second shade we use for. Oh no. Oh no. Still there. Kind of blend it with a denser brush. No, I'm just gonna cover it with glitter. So, just a little bit. Cover. Oh, there. Okay, so I covered up with glitter. So that's how you solve your problems, you guys. Just cover it up. No, I'm just kidding. Now I'm going back with the violet shade and just blend glitter. Okay, so like the glitter is going everywhere, which we'll clean it up later. Okay, so the last one will be the transition shade. So you don't need to go all the way to the front. Just kind of like dust it on the top of the topmost of your eyeshadows. So now you guys can see that glitters everywhere. Now it's kind of hard to control glitters, so not your fault. Okay, so now we're going to the lower lash line. For the lower lash line, I'll be using a small flat brush, and to apply the transition shade, I just find flat brush easier for lower lash line. Okay, so for today's lower lash line, I kind of want it to be smoked out at like this. Doesn't have to be tight line. I just want it to smoke it out to matches the upper. So now we're going into the second shade, the pinkish purple, and the same brush that I used for the topper. Just gonna use the tip of the brush to put on some pigment. So the color still the same, lightest to darkest. Okay, so now that I placed the second lightest shade, going to the third shade, which is the violet. The same brush, going to put it from the end to the middle, like so, from the end to the middle. So yeah, I'm just gonna use the transition shade again to blend out. So, and next will be our darkest shade, the dark purple. So I'm just gonna focus it on the back. Oh no. Okay, be careful. So you always want to be careful when you work with dark shades because it kind of gets everywhere. Okay, so now we lie down the dark purple. We kind of want to blend it and merge it to the eyeshadows on top. To merge that, like so. And that's it for the eyeshadows. So just gonna curl my lashes, pop on some falsies, and I'll be right back. Alright, and this is the final look. I really hope that you guys learned something in this video, and hopefully you guys will be able to do your own cut crease because it's so fun and takes the application of eyeshadows to next level, which is so much fun. And I hope you guys will be able to explore more and more on makeup, and you know. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye! Wait a minute. Guys, there's another step. So I'm just gonna get this color, the side to side from the Sweet Talk palette, and put it on my other inner corner, which I totally forgot. And that's it. Bye!